Hello, hello. My name is Nancy Mello, and I am the Creature Preacher. I'm an animal communicator, which means people come to me because they're looking for a lost pet. They want to resolve an issue with their current animal. If they have some emotional loose ends with an animal that's passed, or maybe an animal in their life is causing strife with a significant other or their child, or they just want to have a better understanding of animals as a whole. Here's how I work. All I need is a photo of the animal's eyes. You know how they say eyes are the window to the soul? Well, that's exactly how I work. I receive information directly from their eyes. That's how I hear them. And I don't know anything about them or their human before the reading starts. Listen, I don't BS. Period. End stop. I tell you what I hear, but hopefully in a loving and comforting way. I got into this work because I was at a low point in my life, and I realized that if I could help one person or one pet, then I had done my job, then I had served my purpose, and that's why I want to talk to you. On the show, I'm going to talk to people just like you, pet owners, animal lovers, and anyone trying to get in their animal's mind or curious about animals as a whole. And I'm going to tell you what your animal has been trying to say. So just as a reminder, I haven't met today's animal guest or person guest yet, but I think you should know something about them before we get started. So my producers spoke to them beforehand. I'm going to duck out for a second and let you listen. And when I come back, I'll do what I do and you can come along.
My name is Monique and Ray Morissette Bernadette Dubois Magliozzi. I'm married to Raymond Francis Magliozzi.
Yes, indeed.
And my current dog is Jem, Jem, and I've had him for 14 years.
And I'm Ray, and he's had me a little longer than he's had Jem, but we like dogs.
Jem is a border collie, all white, except for his face, it's split.
And he's very cute. Isn't he beautiful?
We got him from a friend of a friend.
He's a wonderful dog.
No, he was a sweet, loving puppy till he was 9 months of age, and we sent him to be altered. And from that,
that would tick you off.
That was definitely, he was altered. And from the 9 months of age, he just started being very distrustful of people.
I mean, you look at him and he's so cute. I mean, everybody wanted to pet him, and people would reach out and and he would never bit anybody that we know of.
No, he never bit anyone. But he was so cute and calm, and all of a sudden he turned into a monster.
Monique worked extremely hard
7 years
to make him a wonderful dog.
I went to several trainers. I even had his bags packed 3 times, and each time I just couldn't do it. There was something about him. He was so loving with us, and I just couldn't do it. When he was about 7 years of age, there was like it turned around. It took a while, took years. So I think we really started to come along in his 5th year.
Yeah, I'd say
and then
so.
I started to do more trials. He still can do distance for me, but to get him to come back, he hears me, but he doesn't know where it's coming from, so I have to go get him.
Either that or he's playing stupid. But
no,
even in the house, you call him.
He's not blind. He's not hearing impaired. He just can't distinguish what he sees or what he hears.
So we call out to him. We say, Jem, I don't know if he hears us, but if you're loud enough, he does hear you. But then he'd be 10 feet away, and he's looking all around the room.
He gets confused.
Trying to find out where the sound is coming from. So his brain is playing tricks on him that the sound's coming in, but he can't figure out where it's coming from. And if I'm really loud, if I whistle, a loud whistle, he'll look right at me and he'll come to me. But sometimes I can be 5 feet away from him and say, Jimmy, come over here. Nah, I'm not doing that. He had a pretty good, I'd like to know if he thinks he had a pretty good life, because I think.
If he can remember, I mean.
Was he happy? We've had him his whole life.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to know it. But I can't imagine. He had plenty of times that he spent with other dogs, and the agility stuff was great. In our minds, he had a wonderful life. And but he may say, didn't
could have done better.
They could have done better. They didn't watch enough TV.
So, Ray, what did you retire from? What did you do?
My brother and I had a show called Car Talk on the radio.
Oh, my goodness. Why did I not recognize your voice? How did that start? Like, you were just like, let's just talk about cars?
We got invited by the station, Tom and I did, to participate in a little round table with a bunch of other area shop owners. And Tom thought it was a good idea because he'd get out of some few hours of work. And he left me to mind the shop. And he went, and he was the only one who showed up. And he had the good sense, I guess, to ask the host of the show if he could accept phone calls, because it was not designed to be a call-in show.
Yeah. And
the host said, sure. And so they did that for an hour or so. And they got overwhelmingly positive response. And they invited us both back the following week. And I got to say, we had a lot of fun.
So my husband and I have been together 16 years, and he's military. And we took many long drives. We were in Hawaii, and then I remember we drove from Washington to the East Coast with a newborn. And I remember listening to your guys' show, and I remember at first going like, what the hell is this? Like, I'm not into cars,
Well, that's what we were counting on. That people would listen even if they didn't like cars.
Well, and no, but I loved it because I think you spoke in very toddler-like language. So even someone like me.
Been nice talking to you, Nancy. Bye-bye now.
No, but you spoke in a way that even I could understand. And for someone that isn't mechanical and brain doesn't work that way.
We did that because we realized a lot of the people who listened, including the guys who supposedly knew something about cars, didn't know much either. So we tried to simplify the language so that the average person could understand how systems work.
So we are talking to Jem. Do you guys have any other living pets besides Jem?
No.
Okay, so what I'll do, I know nothing about Jem, so I'll just tell you what I hear about the sweet boy, and then you tell me what you need some help with. So, okay. Oh, sweet boy. Jem said his right ear is a bit itchy, and I don't know if he's hearing as well out of his right ear. He said his right ear bugs him. Has he ever had any ear infections, or has anything been going on with that right ear lately?
Well, no, but he doesn't hear well.
Okay, so that would make sense. Exactly, Jem. Very good. That's an affirmation. I will take that as an affirmation that we are right on target. He also says that, okay, sweet boy, he says his distance vision, he's not seeing as well. He sees more up close. And so he says that he will track you with his eyes. And his eyes will kind of follow you. And I think he's always done that, but more so now. And it's almost like, exactly, Jem, thank you for that affirmation as well. So it's like you guys get a little blurry. Does he have any cataracts?
He might, but I don't think so. No, but he is 14 and a half.
He's just getting more nearsighted.
Okay.
Keep an eye on his vision. I do feel like, and this could be clairvoyant Nancy coming into effect, where I'm seeing things more in the future, but I think his vision is going to come more into play. Okay, let's talk about his legs, because he's having a hard time walking, correct?
Yes.
Left leg seems to be a little bit more worrisome, especially the ankle and like almost like the shin. If in a person, it would be a shin. I am not a veterinarian, did not go to medical school or veterinary school. So yeah, sometimes words escape me, but like his shin area and his ankle tend to be tender. I feel like it's probably on the back. And he has a little limp when he walks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He says he still wants to walk, though. He says, I'm a very good boy.
Oh, yeah.
He says, I want to walk. He says, I need to get my smells. And he likes to kind of push his nose through the snow to try and get to those plants. That's one of his favorite things to do, is kind of burrow into the snow. He loves the cooler weather. And even with his pain, especially in his back, he loves rooting down to find the plants in the snow. It's one of his greatest joys. And in fact, he says he wants more snow. So we need to let the meteorologist know that Jem wants more snow.
I believe all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
He likes to eat it, too.
He also likes, I don't know if you have grandchildren or young people that come over the house. He loves when you throw the snow at him and he tries to catch it.
Yeah.
He loves catching things in his mouth. And I think when he was a younger boy, he was good at jumping, very athletic.
Oh,
and
yes.
he would do kind of these beautiful jumps and not really flips. But I think if Jem were a younger dog now, he would have loved more agility courses and all of this fun stuff that's popping up for dogs to do.
I have to admit, he is an agility dog. He's been doing it since he was 2 years old. We had to stop 3 years ago, which would have been, he was 11, 12.
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, because that's when his rear leg was bothering me, his arthritis in the ankle, and I'm sure it's progressed. And now his balance.
And it goes up into his hip.
Probably you're right. That's where the balance comes from, because he can't turn very fast without falling over. So that's why we stopped agility. But I do a little low-key agility with him because he loves it. And he, like you say, he wants to run. He wants to move.
But he did agility for all those years, like 10 years. He was pretty good, too. Monique won a lot of ribbons.
He did.
Oh, he did.
I'm curious about if he's ever seen a doggy chiropractor, which, believe it or not, exists. Has he ever gone to chiropractic?
He goes to chiropractic every 2 months. He has
Massage,
and he has acupuncture.
Wonderful. So I also feel like he says he likes the water. Has he ever done water therapy?
Yes.
Okay, because he said it was almost like a game for him. And again, we were talking about how his eyes, he's always watching and he kind of focuses on things. And he's still very intelligent. I feel like his mind is very clear still. And so he's always trying to figure things out. And in agility, I think that's why he really enjoyed the challenge of how am I going to do this? And he would watch other dogs, almost like studying them, if you will, because he really was like, oh, I can jump higher. And he loved being around the other dogs.
Oh, yeah.
After the break, Ray and Monique have some more questions for Jem.
What questions did you have for Jem that might be able to help?
I just want, I know this possibly could be my last year with him. I want to make it as comforting and enjoyable as possible. And if there's any way he can communicate to me what more I can do for him.
So I love questions like this because animals have a bucket list. All animals, cats, dogs, even squirrels I've talked to, have things they want to do before they pass, just like people. And so immediately when you were speaking, the first thing I hear is he wants to go to the water again. He wants to go to the shore and watch the waves.
Yeah.
He says that the grainy sand kind of gets in his paws. He doesn't like the grains. He's also a little bit sensitive about gravel, I think.
Yeah.
But he does want to watch the waves. I think he prefers to be in the grass and even in the seagrass. He loves the smell at the shore. So taking him to the coast, taking him to the beach, and just letting him walk around. He also, I think the main thing is he wants to be outside as much as possible. cold,
Ooh.
warm, windy, he wants to be outside. He says his nose is still really strong. So as opposed to his ears, which are going, his eyes, which are starting to go, he says he still has a really good nose. I would say let 2024 be the year of smells for Jem.
Oh.
And let that lead the way. So you could incorporate smells into your own home. So when the weather is bad or you can't get outside all the time, even cooking and cooking different things, Indian food, think of things that have a very distinct but different smell to them, and perhaps smells that you don't often, or foods that you don't often cook. This is the year for you guys to be a little bit more challenging in your food. And maybe you don't feel like cooking Indian food. Maybe you just bring it as takeout, but it's still those smells.
Sure.
But he does, his nose is very good. And if I come into the TV room with anything that is even the least bit interesting to him, he's right at my feet because he wants to share.
He does say that he doesn't understand the TV, and he's showing me a TV. He's not using the TV. He's saying the box with the pictures. He's not too interested in the TV. He likes to, again, back to food and the smells. He says he likes to watch you both eat while you're watching TV.
Well, we do that, yeah.
The TV thing, he's really not really too interested. Only if there are animals in the show, he can watch all of Babe and not move. He's so fascinated with the little pig Babe and the border collies and the sheep. He can watch the whole thing. And he's done that for us like 2 or 3 times. And it's like, whoa. So
I'm hearing it's also the sound with it. It's something about the pitches of it he really enjoys. So, yeah, TV is usually, but unless Babe's on 24/7, that would make sense why he's watching you. But he likes, speaking of that sound, and it's interesting because he is losing his hearing, but he likes that cadence. So if you think of the Babe and how it's childlike, but it has a little upturn with the sound of his voice. And if you can think about doing that with Jem, hello, like a little up at the end. And I think that will catch his attention more. What do you want for dinner? Like, make it like a little bit of a song. And I think that'll help him respond.
We're going to start talking like that to each other, too. All our friends are going to abandon us.
Hello, how are you today?
yeah, that's good.
A lot of times just changing your cadence and your volume a little bit for animals that are losing their hearing can be huge. He really enjoys that. He does love his chin rubbed. Oh, yeah. He loves his chin rubbed. He loves his massages. He really, really enjoys the massages. He thinks the massages are the best thing on earth. He says he's a very good boy. He does say his stomach is a little bit sensitive when they maneuver it. And we're talking about during his physical therapy. We're talking about during his massages. His stomach area is a little bit tight. But I also think that's coming from his back. Yeah. Because if his mid back is tender and then it's going from his lower back. So that's tighter. So of course it's going to feel a little wonky. I mean, you think about if you put your arms up over your head and you're going to feel that stretch down your side. I mean, that's similar to what he's probably feeling in his sides. So just be a little bit gentle about that. Yeah. And I think just helping keep him loose, those hips do need to be adjusted because I feel like they're off to one side a bit.
It is. It is.
I think every dog owner wants to know if their dog is happy. Are there things that we have done to Jem or with him that have made him very happy, or things that have been a nuisance? Like, geez, I wish they'd stop doing that. It's driving me crazy. But I think every dog owner wants to know that they've done right by their dogs. We love our dogs, and they seem to love us and be devoted to us. But are there things that you can see in him that we could have done better or differently?
I love that question, Ray. So in terms of, has Jem been happy? Absolutely. He loves the car. He loves jumping up into the car. He's all about the car. He doesn't like the car?
No, he does like the car.
But he can't jump
Monique,
up.
I thought you were shaking your head.
He used to jump right in. He can't do that anymore, but he loves it because it has a fleece blanket and he has his bucket for drinking water and his toys.
And a 27-inch LCD TV.
He really loves going in that car.
he loved the shorter car, or I guess the smaller car. And he likes being in the front seat. He says, I like to be able to see everything. And he would kind of put his paw in the front console a little bit because he'd get so excited. But he loved when the window was open, even partly open, even when you were going fast, because he loved the smells. And again, going back to smells.
He likes the jalopy we have at the beach. We have a beach buggy, an old
Maybe
Honda
that's
CRV.
what he was talking about.
Used to be, we'd open the door and he'd jump right into the back seat and he would try to come into the front seat and sit on Monique's lap if we were driving someplace. Yeah. And he knew that we were going, when we got into that car, he knew we were driving to the beach. And for him, the beach was like fun.
And that, again, goes along with one of his bucket list items, which he loves to be on the shore. He loves to go to the beach. He loves the smells. So the more you can get there, the better. And I would actually encourage you to go at different times of the year. A lot of, I know it's hard right now when it's cold, but one of my favorite things to do, especially because there's less people on the beach now, is I'll go when it's cloudy and stuff, because when the clouds and the fog roll in, it's lots of different kinds of smells. There's lots of different animals there. So letting him explore at different times of the year to give him his full bucket list experience of 365 would just enhance everything. And he says something about the beach might be fried food. It feels like a busier beach that you would go to, and there was fried food, the smell of fried food.
During the summer.
Yeah.
Hot dog. He likes the hot. Did he ever have a corn dog?
Well, he's had plenty of hot dogs, that's for sure.
That food, he loves the smell of it, and I think it just connects him. Yeah. He says he's also loved his quiet time. One of the things I think in particular he's loved is that you both haven't ever really pushed him off of anywhere. For instance, if you're on the couch and he's there, you'll move instead of moving him, or on the bed. You've kind of maneuvered around him, and he appreciates that.
Well, he's the most cuddly dog we've ever had. I mean, most border collies are kind of aloof, but Jem he would cuddle at a moment's notice. And you're right, we never asked him to leave the couch or asked him to get out of bed. And he finally decided on his own he was going to take over the bed. And he started sleeping diagonally on the bed. So in the middle of the night, we'd have to shift him around. And he would sometimes sleep with his head up where our heads were. But sometimes he'd go in the other direction. And that was never, pleasant. But it was always, but he was always welcome in the bed. We're happy to know that he's had a happy life with us, because he's been a great dog and he's been a great companion. And he
certainly has taught us, especially me, a lot about dogs.
And he's been a very good companion, and we're very happy that we've had him all these years. So we're very lucky that we've had him 14 plus years, and who knows how much longer he's going to go, but we'll continue to have fun with him.
Considering, I think he's in good shape for being 14 years old. I don't feel like intuitively he's going anywhere anytime soon. If he was, I would be getting more feelings about, this is how I want to finish. This is where I want to go. And it goes back with you as well, where you were saying that Jem has just made your life so much more worthwhile. Well, vice versa. You have made his life so much more fulfilling because you've honored what he's wanted to do. You've honored that adventurous side of him.
Nancy, thank you. This has been great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for chatting with me. And thank you for sharing Jem with me.
Well, thank you for giving us insights into a wonderful dog.
He is a lovely dog, and I think he's got a lot of adventures left to come.
Well, some of the stuff she kind of surprised me with.
Sitting in the I didn't even think.
Riding in the car.
The beach buggy. How would she know that we had a beach buggy?
She wouldn't, but she knew that he likes riding in the back seat of that thing.
Or in my lap in that thing.
Yeah, he'd sit in the back seat, and then he'd finally work his way to the front. He'd sit on Monique's lap. But he knew he was so excited. Still is. Cool. If we're driving to the beach, he's like beside himself. And he starts howling, and he just can't stop. And then we get to the beach and he flips out. Hey, like anything else, when you get older, it's that whoa is going down to whoa. But I was happy to know that she said Jim's had a very nice life with us. He has. I couldn't imagine any dog being happier than being owned by Monique.
Yeah.
No, really.
You too? Does that cover you too?
Oh. No, it's true.
Creature Preacher with Nancy Mello is produced by Rococo Punch. Our producers are Catherine Fenalosa, Emily Foreman, and Andrea Aswahe, with help from Mike Garth. Social video by Lauren Wyan. For more details on the series, go to creaturepreacherpod.com. You can reach out via email too. Podcast me at rococopunch.com. The show was launched with the help of some of the best in the business, and it wouldn't have happened without them. Thanks to Christine Ricasa, Brian Barletta, the teams at Audely, Tink Media, Adonde Media, Zeitler Design, and Sounds Profitable. If you want to support the show and wear the coolest freaking merchandise ever, check out our Creature Preacher store at creaturepreacherpod.com, created by Go-To Market, the best folks in all of merchandising land. If you want to see behind-the-scenes video and me dancing with some cats, you can follow me on Instagram at Nancy Mello Official or on TikTok at nancy.mello. Thanks for listening.
He doesn't know this, but I have a secret stash of Belgian chocolate that I hid. And every day...
After being married 53 years, she's now telling me? I saw that box.
The blue box?
Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't take any because I count them.
No, I know. She's sneaky.